Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune-up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty, so I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show, and I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, beloved. Welcome back to my podcast. I'm Monica Bermudez. I am the host for the podcast called Ascended Earth, the Transfiguration of the New Human. Welcome back to another episode. In this episode, it's about New Earth and artificial intelligence, or AI. There has been a lot of talk on this subject on different platforms lately, so I felt the impulse to talk about it based on my background, experience, and intuitive insights. And I do have a lot to share and say about this subject. So I just want to take a few seconds of reflection and gratitude first. And I just say that I'm so grateful that I have this podcast platform with 444 Media support, which is the one who helped me. Specifically Shane Bryan and Leah Steele, who helped me launch the podcast last year and have made it easy for me to focus more on my creative side and what it is that I wish to share with all of you, and be more in my creative flow, not have to worry about all the administrative, details behind the scene. But really, it's a place where I could really share my voice and speak my truth. And I'm grateful for all of you actually taking the time to listen to each of these episodes and for your reviews and ratings. So thank you so much for being here and for listening to every single episode. So going back to the subject, I just have to say that I really love technology, which is why I chose a scientific degree as my initial studies in a university. So I will plant this seed now by saying that we are the first AI robots. And I will get into what I mean by this. But first, let's set an intention for this episode. The intention of this episode is to shed light and shift our fear on artificial intelligence and robots and look at it from a different perspective. And I want to share some channelings and higher self remembrance of my past lives. I am getting these intuitive insights of my extraterrestrial self as having flown spaceships and spacecrafts because I feel there's something in me that finds them so familiar, or there's this inner knowingness of operating in one of them before I incarnated as a human. And I also explained it in episode 70 of the Galactic Federation channel message. And I'm also getting this intuitive insight and psychic visions of my extraterrestrial life as working on AI robots, far more advanced than the ones that we have right now. So that's why I'm so fascinated by it myself. And as I recall, when I was in engineering school, I would jump into these trance channels without realizing that I was doing it. And I would come back with answers to the most complex engineering equations. And I wouldn't know where it came from, or I couldn't even explain how the answer came about. But, this is called claircognizance, which is one of the other strongest clair abilities that I have. And in fact, we all have all the clairs in us, but it's just that in some cases, some are stronger than others. And so usually, the strong ones can serve to build on the other ones too. It just takes constancy and practice to develop them to be stronger. Anyways, just a little side note on that. But going back to the AI talk, I now want to share a personal story. During high school, I took a tour at a nearby university to learn about their programs to see where I wanted to study for my college degree. During the tour at the university, I went to a room that had like this indoor pool. And in the pool, they were working on these robots underwater. And they had them in water because they were preparing them for space, AI, and robotic technology. And this really fascinated me, looking at the robots and all the mechanics and how they were operating them. And then on top of that, they were talking about space. So that also fascinated me as well. So I asked the tour guide what field of study um, was needed in order to work on robots. And the only one that really caught my attention was electrical engineering. So I think he may have mentioned like two or three other field studies, but I really decided to go into the university to actually get my electrical engineering degree because I was inspired by robots. And so I saw the potential in them for the future. So that's really what got me into the scientific background in that. And I feel it's not the first time though in this lifetime that I'm doing that. I feel I've done that before in previous lifetimes as well as some of my previous extraterrestrial life as well. So the future is now. Technology has accelerated exponentially. And here we are talking about AI and robots and automated world and automated new earth. Um, but this is nothing new. And my intuitive insights say that automated and AI also existed in advanced civilizations long ago. I'm talking about advanced civilizations that existed here on Earth that isn't talked about in our history books because it's a very ancient and ancient history, a lot of it which is not covered. So not to get into a tangent of that subject, but going back to what we're talking about, and like in all technological changes, comes a shift in job markets, in the society and cultures too. So look back, for instance, at the Industrial Revolution that spanned between 1760 and 1840. How did that shift the job market and the way the cultures and society operated? It made a lot of changes. So, and it also provided in a positive way because it also created other new jobs and roles during that time. In my business school studies, I wrote an article based on this very subject of the impacts of the AI on in our culture, society, and job market, which is happening right now. And I like to look at the potential of these automated systems that they have for us. In the article, I wrote that this would cause a shift in the job market where certain jobs will be replaced. But I also wrote that the best way to change that is to keep up with changing technology. So, and I have to make a reference now about a specific story movie that is relevant to this topic. I really love that movie called Hidden Figures. It is a powerful and empowering story of three African American women who made a huge contribution and impact on NASA. And in the 1960s, during a time when segregation was enforced in the workplace, it's based on actual events. And it wasn't great for women as a whole either in the workplace too during that time frame. So these women were scientists and these math genius. They could calculate formulas easily before computers even existed. So basically, they were like human machines themselves. So in one of the scenes in particular for this movie, they were talking about the coming soon of a new machine to automate, calculate formulas called, a computer that was by IBM. And yes, there was fear of being replaced from their jobs. So one of the women decided to learn how the machine worked by learning its language. So when the engineers and scientists who were trying to operate the machine was not functioning as well. But guess who was ready to step in to help fix whatever was going on? And the same woman who actually took the time to learn the language, came in and helped fix it. And so everybody was so impressed by her being able to do this. And so as a result, not only did she keep her job, but her role changed. So she now was like this, professional computer expert. But then she also trained her own team that she had. The other ladies had it also use that language for the computer. So basically, they learned how to adapt to the changes going on. So not only was she good at math, but now she was operating this new computer too. So the point is to be prepared. There is a human evolution, right? As our consciousness is expanding, we're evolving to these new changes as well. So just being open to learning new things in your life, and also it also keeps you young and upgraded. So don't fear really the AI. Learn about it, and really like AI is really a tool itself, right? Like I had talked about others, like things like money and so forth. So really don't give that excuse, right, that you're too old or too young to learn something new, because age has nothing to do with it. We have the ability to learn new things at any age. It's the willingness and wanting to learn that something new, right? Having that determination within ourselves. So just recently, I was hearing on the news that there is an AI powered robots that AI powered robots are being implemented in a restaurant called Cali Express by Flippy in Pasadena, California. Just wondering if anybody lives close to there, and would love to hear if you visited the restaurant, because it's all like it's a place that is operated by all robots to make burgers and fries and so forth. So the silver lining in this is that the robots have been filling the jobs that have been understaffed. So during the pandemic, a lot of the jobs lost, like the stores and restaurants, they lost a lot of their own staff members. So even when everybody started coming back to work, nobody wanted to go back to a lot of these restaurants and stores. So now what is happening is that a lot of these robots are filling those positions that nobody else wants. So that is, a bit of a silver lining in that. And as I mentioned, I see technology, which includes AI robots, like a tool. As such, this tool is not good or bad. We make the tools. We are the ones that make that, happen. It's just like a knife, for example, right? A knife is used to cut vegetables and other ingredients to make a meal so that you are well fed and keep yourself healthy. On the other hand, a knife has been used for horrific intentions to hurt someone else. So really, it's the intention of the one wielding the tool that matters. And the same is for AI and robots. What intentions does the creator have when making these robots, when they are being programmed, and it's just and how they're being used as well for many benefits. And there's just so much potential that could be used in, like, if you're in the business world, it could really help automate other areas to fix, certain like um, wordsmithing and so forth. So this is, just a cyclical fear. When the Industrial Revolution started changing everything, there was a fear about it hurting people. And, there's a lot of fear of the unknown. And the same is happening right now with the AI and robots. And if we break the cycle, let's look at a new perspective on this, which brings me back to the point that I made in the beginning of this episode, that we are the original AI. Technology, in a way, mimics us. When I was studying about cellular technologies and networks in school, I saw the parallel of these systems in us, humans. There is a spiritual teacher. His name is Sadhguru, who is also his background is also in engineering, but he talks a lot about inner engineering. And yes, that is so true. Our hardware, which is our body, is also a sacred temple, and the software is our consciousness that is connected to the all. When we are receiving new light codes during these ascension times, these are like software upgrades and software patches for DNA, electrons, molecules, atoms, subatomic, you name it, the works. It's in all of us, right? All throughout. In the same way, a cell phone gets upgraded every so often, right? You have like all these different software patches that go through these upgrades. So similar to that, our body is also like a radio or cellular circuit board that has a transmitter and a receiver. So our transmitter receiver is also known as the pineal and pituitary glands in our head. And so I would equate that to being our transmitter and receiver equivalent to that. The microprocessor that is found in cell phones and other in the radio as well, it's similar to like our brain and heart. And scientists are finding that the heart is like another brain. It carries equivalent neurons like the brain for processing. Our soul is equivalent to the operating system of a cell phone. And the cell phones also use quartz crystal for keeping track of time and frequency of signals in the phone. And, going back to us, we also have a similar crystal within ourselves that tracks that frequency, the new Earth's frequency as well. And so this is a quantum space that, within us and how this mimics and the similarities to a cell phone. So we are like a walking technology, a walking cell phone pretty much ourselves. Or you could say a walking satellite phone, just similar to it, right? So, and just like crystals can be programmed or be useful in this way for technology, we can also make use of it for us, within ourselves as a tool. And we can make, use of it as another tool for us. So basically, we are simply being reawakened and reascended to our original state through these light code energy upgrades that come as cosmic energies, astrological events, solar flares, Schumann resonance, etc. All the things that are occurring right now in the planet, we're all just going through these like software upgrades going on, our consciousness is expanding as well, so that means that our perception is also shifting, looking at things in a different way and stepping more into this unity consciousness as well. So I do feel that AIs can evolve in time, just like we have seen in some of the sci-fi movies like I, Robot. But in most cases, these have been too fear-based type movies, which is why it's also creating a lot of fear in society. So going back to the fear of the unknown, because there is a level of attachment, right, to have control over every situation. And that's also part of the fear in the fear of the unknown. Again, this goes back to the creator of these technologies and how AI evolves based on that creator. Um, Essentially, it is up to us to adapt to it and thrive in any type of environment. We can coexist with other AIs on this new earth. And, it's really just for us to know how they operate. And the more that we start to learn about it, then we start to set the intention around, that it be used for its highest vibrational intention, to be of service to everyone, right? To be programmed so that it is more in this, frequency that operates in a higher vibrational frequency of love. And so, hence, this would be for us as well as we're going through this ascension that we're also, becoming this next level of like upgraded like AI. So that's pretty much the essence of the message. I hope that it serves and supports you in understanding a little more about some of the AI and looking at it from a different perspective. So I will catch you in another episode. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.